I'm so sick of the people trying to both sides this argument. Trying to, because they're taking their cues from this career criminal, no command of the English language, an idiot. They're taking their cues from him. These right-wing social media influencers. They're destroying justice and they're putting out misinformation. And I'm looking at people run out to try to Dominique Alexander's right. The problem with this case isn't that a 17-year-old brought a knife to a high school event and stabbed someone over typical teenage disagreement. No, the real problem is these tweets from these right-wing conservatives. That's the real problem. And it must be addressed. This racial idolatry is out of control everywhere. This thing is so clear-cut. And I don't care if Austin Metcalf grabbed this dude's arm, grabbed his book pack. If he called, and I'm sure they'll claim, he called him the N-word. I don't care. I've been called the N-word by black people and white people throughout my life. Never grabbed a knife and stabbed anyone. Never pulled a gun and shot anyone. If you have that little self-control, if you're that easily triggered, if the culture that you adhere to is that easily triggered, someone grabbed me by the arm. I have the right to stab them. Someone called me the N-word. I have the right to stab or kill them. If you have that little self-control, you need to be on a reservation somewhere, locked away from the rest of humanity and society that has more emotional control than that and doesn't buy into a culture that says any disrespect must be met with more disrespect. This is insanity, what we're seeing. It's scripted insanity, though. And when Jake Lang gets here, and I like Jake Lang, and I respect what he went through on January 6th, and them 3-4 years he did standing on his head in prison, hats off to Jake Lang. But this damn protest, Protect White Americans in Frisco, Texas, I got some real questions about, and I got some real questions for Jake Lang, and does he understand the big picture? Because they have put this Dominique Alexander, this bought and paid for illiterate clown on one side to drum up racial division. And now there's a caravan of people going to Frisco, Texas to drum up more racial division. And no one can see what's going on here. And Stevie Wonder, with a brain, should be able to see what's going on here. They want tomorrow for there to be conflict, for there to be some sort of incident. They want Charlottesville 2.0. They want January 6 2.0. They want some sort of race war. And they're going to send agitators to make sure that happens, in my opinion. And when they do, when they get this racial conflict, the argument coming out of that will be, we got to change venues. You can't have this trial in Collin County. You can't have this trial in Denton County. You have to change the venue. Real Estate Agents I Trust connects you with top-performing real estate agents in your area. These aren't just any professionals. They're carefully vetted to ensure they're leaders in their field. They're experts who know the ins and outs of best practices, thrive in the wild housing market, Beyond their skills, they share our core values that me and you both believe in. Real Estate Agents I Trust, the name really does say it all. Visit realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com. Because Collin County and Denton County, which basically cover the Frisco, Texas area and Plano, Texas, where they live, both parties live, went to school, high school, in those counties. We got to move this someplace where there's more black folks. We got to get this. We got to move 20 miles to Dallas County. We have to move this trial somewhere where we can get more black jurors on the jury. They want jury nullification. They want a mistrial. They want a hung jury. They know this kid is guilty. But they also know that black Americans have been so programmed, have been so brainwashed into anything that hurts white people is good for black people. Any misery that we can spread and share with white people. And so, as black people, we can't socialize and hang out with each other without going through metal detectors in a nightclub because it's so dangerous and so many of us get killed by this disrespect culture. It's a good thing that white people in the suburbs experience that too. I'm going to show you what they're looking for and why they are intent on stirring up enough trouble and enough drama so that they can argue, change of venue. Get this out of Denton and Collin County. Let's move it out of the suburbs where only 10% of the population is black, and let's get it to Dallas County so that we can get 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 black jurors. Who knows if we're lucky? And of that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black jurors, can we get one who thinks like this video I'm about to play you? I'm sorry. Yep, let me, I'm looking at it. This is the Sneeko video. Sneeko is some internet influencer. He does these, what internet influencers do? They interview people on the street, you know, sit at a table in a mall, interview people. And so he's doing like a Steven Crowder, Change My Mind. Sneeko, you guys know him. I know the name. I don't know anything much about him, but I found this video interesting. He's sitting down with a young black man, interviewing him about the Karmelo Anthony case. And I want to play you this 2-minute video, and I want to show you what they're looking for. They want someone who thinks like this on the jury, and that's why they're happy that Jake Lang is leading a Protect White Americans rally in Frisco, Texas, and that's why they're happy that a retard, a criminal retard, is representing the Karmelo Anthony family. Let's play SOT number 11.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I brought Nines to school every day for years.
You went every day?
I brought Nines to school every day.
You brought Nines to school every day? Why?
I got jumped. I had my nose broken, I had a concussion. I couldn't go to school for 3 weeks. I seen people my age younger get robbed. I seen people my age younger get beat up for no reason. I seen people have petty grievances and take it out on other people for stupid things. So at a certain point, you have to, when it comes down to you or somebody else, you're always gonna pick yourself. So if he had a knife, I get it, because sometimes, you know, you by yourself and you outnumbered, what are you gonna do?
But I think that Austin just asked him to move out of his seat.
I wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't really, at the end of the day, like I said, whether or not he did, whether or not it went the way Austin said it went, or, you know, Austin's brother, whether or not it went the way Karmelo said it, this is one of those things about seeing race. Karmelo's gonna be the bad guy in that picture regardless.
Well, he's free now. He just said the bond was posted and he's home, and they raised $400,000.
Yo, then he's free. He got probation for a year. He got an ankle monitor on. He can't leave his crib. And justice system will handle him. But I'm not really mad at the I'm not really mad at it, even if he did it out of malice, because at the end of the day, like, being black in America is not always fun. And a lot of the time in that situation, whether he did it out of self-defense or not, he would have went to jail. So it's cathartic, like in an OJ way. You know, OJ probably did do that, but...
What do you hope to see with this trial? Do you hope to see him walk free or go to jail?
If you ask like a personal opinion, I just want him to be home regardless.
You want to be home, even if he did it, you want him to be home?
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, bro, I see people that look like me get incarcerated for everything. Get incarcerated for things you ain't do. Look at Khalif Browder. Khalif Browder got arrested for, and I was in New York. Khalif Browder got arrested for beating somebody up, stealing a book bag. And when you take a lot of losses, you know, as a community, you see things like that happen over and over, time and time again. You know, people going to jail for things they didn't do. You don't really care if somebody did it or not. Sometimes you want.
So you don't care if he did it or not?
Me personally, nah. Me personally, I don't care. I don't care.
That's what they're hoping. That someone who thinks like that, and there are people who think like that. There are people that have had their brains so brainwashed by hip-hop culture, brainwashed by their life experience in the ghetto, in the hood, by this hip-hop culture that feels so victimhood-ridden, that their mindset is, yeah, I want other people to feel as miserable and hate themselves the way that I do, and to be indifferent about life and death and innocent victims. And so this is all connected. Trust me, it's all connected. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.